wanted to ask about not letting things throw me off. Okay. Trying to work on my mindset about money and such. Any tips on not letting small things like my son's anger attitude throw me off track? Well, perspective ideally on each one. If it's your son, then just imagine what he's going through. Put yourself in his shoes. Like, what's he stressed out about? It's almost always a perspective shift that you need. Like, who's causing the problem for you? And then try to put yourself in their shoes. Well, his attitude breaks me away from work a lot, and we don't really have background help. So it's expecting it, right? Right? Like, Brian, you gotta expect that this is gonna happen. So knowing that this is gonna happen, how do we react to it, as opposed to like, oh, I wish he was like this. How do you set up hours to expect him to act? How do we set up our hours to expect him to act out just in case, move that around? Yeah, it's the expectation. You can't expect him to be calm and quiet. So you just adjust for that. I mean, when I had Hayden, I was working all sorts of crazy hours. I took the night shift a lot. And when he slept, I worked. And when he didn't sleep, I was with him. And when he was kind of in between, there's moments I tried to do work that I can get done. Like if you're doing outreach, that doesn't have to be fixed, right? You can do that in and out. If you're going to send 100 messages a day to people, you can do that in between him being happy versus not. And then when he has his nap time or he's quiet or, your wife comes home or whatever else, then you can work on more projects that require more focus. It's dealing with the situation that is, as opposed to like wishing the situation was different, right? Okay, awesome. That makes sense. So it's like at 15 minutes, message, then just stop. The whole mentality. Yeah, they just embrace it and flip it to the positive that, you have a limited time with your son at this age and to enjoy it. I was definitely not as productive, as I am now when my son was super young, but when I had 15 minutes open, I'd do something simple. Didn't require a ton of brain work. And then when I had more time, he slept. Then I could get more focused work done. Because it also puts you in the right mindset, when you're getting the work done, right? Because if you're upset or frustrated while you're trying to get work done and reach out to people, you're just not going to be very effective, right? Won't be your best work. In other words, the law of attraction. Sure. It's being prepared, and yeah, if you think about this is how I expect this to happen, and here's how I'm going to show up when it happens, as opposed to expecting it not to happen and being frustrated when it does.